Alright, so in this video, we are going to work with 3D views. So we are going to learn how to modify the appearance of elements in an orthographic 3D view, which is this one here. And we're also going to create a perspective view. Okay, so this is the orthographic view. So if you want to change this to perspective view, you can right click the view cube, right click any part, and then you can see their perspective. So once you click that, so you'll be able to create a perspective view, right? Okay, so now let me just right click again my view cube and then go back to orthographic. So what I'm going to teach you is that I'm going to teach you how to change the color of your element. Like for example, I want to change the color of the steel columns and beams. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select manage here. So you see there's the manage tab. And then from the settings panel, you can see materials. Okay. So as you can see here, so the colors that I have here are gray. So I want to change the material of my columns and beams. So let's say I want that to be like reddish. Okay. So I'm going to select here the materials. And then here you can type the material. You can search like metal. So I'm going to select your metal steel. Okay, so you can type here like metal, and then you'll be able to select from here. So let's say metal steel. So metal steel, that's the material that is applied to my columns and beams. So here, the metal steel, so I'm going to select graphics, and then you see there's a color here. So I'm going to select the color, and then let's say I'll just select here red, and then I'll just select here OK. Okay, and then after that, I'll just select here OK. And then you will now see that it's now updated. Okay, and then another thing that you can do with your 3D model is that you can also change the transparency. So let's say I want to change the transparency of my roof. Okay, so this is my roof. Okay, so that's my roof. And then if I go to the edit type here and then check the structure, so like I'm going to select here edit. So you can see that I'm gonna select here preview. Okay, and then I'll select this one here. So maybe I'll change this. Okay, so that's, so I have here structure 1, which is this part here, and then structure 2 or structure again, which is this one here. Okay, so let's say I want to change the color of my default roof. Okay, I can do it here, or again I can also go back to my materials, manage materials, and then I'll just look for the default roof material. Okay, because that's the material that is applied to my structure roof. So default roof, so I select default roof, and then from the graphics here you can see transparency. Okay, so you can drag that one. So let's say I'm going to change that to 10. So I can also type here, so 10, and then I'll select here apply, and then look what will happen here on my roof. So I select here apply. There you go. So there's the transparency, right? And then I select OK. Okay, so you can also do the adjustment through the edit type here, the one that I have selected earlier. So just go to the edit, and then just look for the material default roof, which is this part here. So you can click the ellipsis button there, the 3 dots, and then that's your default roof, and then you can change here the transparency. All right. Okay, so now another thing that you can do in your 3D view is that you can create a section box view. Okay, you can create a section box view. So let's say I'm going to duplicate my 3D views here. So I'm going to right click that, and then I'm going to select duplicate. Okay, so duplicate, and then I'm going to rename this one. So right click, rename to section box view long. Okay, Then I'm going to press enter. Right, so that's now my 3D. So in this view, I want to modify it. So I'm going to use my section box. Okay, so section box can be found here on my properties. So you can see there, section box, and then you can check your section box there. So just check that one and it will now show. Okay, so there are some instances wherein if you check your section box, it's not showing. So you just need to check your visibility graphic overrides. Okay, this one. So you can check edit. Make sure on the annotation category, make sure your section box here is also checked. Okay, so make sure that one is checked and make sure it's checked here as well. So you can use your section box to control the 3D, the visibility of your 3D. So let's say I'm gonna adjust it. So just select the section box. You can hold the shift and then the middle button of your mouse to orbit your view. So let's say I'm going to select the top portion here. So I select that, and then I'll use the handle here to control the crop. So let's say I'm going to put it somewhere here. Just drag there. And then after that, I'll select again the 3D view here, the home view, and there you go. So I just crop my view, right? So let's say I want to select the section box and I want to adjust this side here. So I can do that in this view, or I can go to the front view this time so I can see it more better than the isometric view. Okay, and then after that, I'll just go back again to the home view, which is this one. Okay, right. So now if you want to hide your section box, don't uncheck this. Okay, because if you uncheck that one, it will show the whole 3D again. So what you can do, you can click your section box, right click, and then you can select your hide in view elements. There you go. So it's now hidden. Okay, so now if you want to show it back again, okay, you can select here reveal hidden elements. You can click that, and then any color that is colored maroon or reddish color, so those are the elements that is hidden in this view, including your section box. So if you want to unhide your section box, you can click that, and then you can select unhide element. Or you can still use your section box in this view, and then you can still adjust it. Okay, you can use that, and then once you're done, you just need to close reveal hidden elements again. Just click that and then it will close. But if you want that to be shown, just click that button and then click the section box and hide element and then toggle, and then it will show again your section box. Right? Okay, so I'll just hide this. Click, right click, hide elements, hide in view elements. There you go. Okay, so now we are going to create a 3D view from an existing elevation view. So let's say, for example, I have an elevation here like elevation 4-A. Okay, so say for example, I want to create a 3D view based on elevation 4-A. Okay, so to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select another 3D view. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this 3D. So I'm gonna right click that, duplicate, and I'm just gonna duplicate that and then rename this. Okay, so this is going to be my 3D dash elevation 4-A, and then enter. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use elevation 4-A to create a 3D view. Okay, so to do that, you see your section box here, right click any part of your section box, and then after that look for orient to view. Okay, so orient to view, and then since we want elevation, so you look for elevation here, and then you can see here the list of elevation including 4-A. So I'm going to select 4-A And there you go. So automatically, Revit will crop the 3D view based on elevation 4-A. So this is 3D, so I can hold my shift and then hold my middle button. As you can see, I can orbit that. So this is in 3D. I can still also select my section box and then I can adjust that if I want. All right. Okay. There you go. So that's how you use your section box. Okay, or I can just rename this since this is a brace frame. So I'm just gonna select here and rename it 3D brace frame. Enter. Okay, so now I have the section box view long and then the 3D brace frame that is based on my elevation 4-A. Okay, now going back to my 3D, so I'll just right click this, duplicate, and then I'll just rename this. So this is going to be my 3D perspective. Okay, so I'm going to right click this and then I'll select here perspective. So I have that perspective view. Okay, so another way to create your perspective view is you can put a camera in your model. Okay, so you can put a camera on your model. So let's say I go to my roof. Okay, and then I'm going to put a camera to create a perspective view. So to place a camera, just go to your default 3D view drop down arrow. Just click that and then you can see here camera. So just click camera and then you can specify here the offset. Okay, so that's the offset. So that means that's the offset from the roof. So from the roof, it will go down minus 300 millimeters. Okay, so now I don't want to create the camera here in the roof view. So I'm going to select first floor. So let me go to first floor. And then after that, I'll go back again to my camera here. Camera. All right, so from first floor, I want to change the offset. Like for example, 2,000 millimeters or 2 meters. So that's the height from first floor and we are creating perspective view. So I'm going to pick the first point and then I'm going to pick the second point here. There you go. And I just created now my perspective view. So I can still adjust my camera. Okay, like that. And I can also use my full navigation wheel here. So I'll click that one and then I can orbit like that. Okay, so I can orbit. I can also zoom in or zoom out. I can also use the pan here to pan my model and then I can orbit like that. Okay. Also, I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna change my detail level to fine and I'll change my visual style to, let's say, shaded view. And there you go. Okay. So that's how I create another way of creating your perspective view. Okay, so that's it for this short video. So I hope you learned something. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.